Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, the one and only Hosting Cruz, bringing you another exciting edition of boxing. Don't forget to hit and to like, subscribe to my channel. It's always greatly appreciated. Stay tuned. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Hosting Cruz, and the new IBF World Super Featherweight Champion of the World, Eduardo Nunez. Mexico has a new world champion in the form of the hard-punching Mexican fighter in Eduardo Nunez. 28 wins, 1 loss, 27 big wins by knockout. One of the most vicious punchers in boxing today. And he took on Masanori Rikiishi in Yokohama, Japan in what was a scintillating fight. Tremendous fight. Just another day at the office between Mexican and Japanese fighters. They never seem to disappoint, especially when they fight each other. It's one of the best rivalries in boxing. You know, Mexico Puerto Rico is the rivalry. It's advertised that way. But Japan versus Mexico has produced some of the greatest fights in boxing. It's never a dull moment when those two countries get in there and fight each other. And I can't recall ever seeing a boring fight between a Mexican and a Japanese. And this one was no different. Like I said, it was just another day at the office. So Eduardo Nunez coming in, at least for me, is one of the best Mexican fighters on the rise to stardom. You know, he's created a career of KOs, knocking out his opponents. Coming into this fight, all his wins were by knockout. 27-1, 27 knockouts. So that KO streak of victories was broken earlier on this morning by Rikiishi by going the distance. It was 12 rounds. They won 12 rounds, and Eduardo was able to he got a unanimous decision. Now, it may have said unanimous decision, but this fight was pretty damn good. I mean, like I said, another classic chapter. Both guys, Masanori Rikiishi and Eduardo Nunez, coming into this fight were ranked number 8 pound for pound in their country. So Eduardo was number 8 ranked in Mexico, in all of Mexico. That's very impressive. And Masanori was ranked number 8 in Japan. So you got the very best from their countries at number 8 fighting each other, and of course fighting for the coveted IBF vacant championship. So the fight, man, it was just pure action from round 1 till the end. Both guys going at it. Plenty give and take. Nunez with the pressure. Masanori, of course, having his moments of engaging with Eduardo Nunez, but also using a nice jab, trying to box, and at times trying to stay out of harm's way as possible with Nunez, who's a pressure fighter, who's a hard punching fighter, was pressing forward, landing body shots. He stood right in Rikishi's chest, land uppercut, landing body shots, overhand rights, trying to get that KO. And like most Japanese fighters, they have some solid chins. And Masanori Rikiishi showed that. And he needed to show that, because if he didn't have the chin, Nunez would have slept him tonight, because Nunez was able, throughout the fight, he was landing some hard shots and looping overhand rights and left hooks. He was landing some titanic shots, and Masanori Rikiishi was able to stand up and take them. But all in all, it was a tremendous fight. It lived up to the hype I knew coming in. I felt coming in that this fight was going to be a tremendous fight because of their styles and who they are. Mexican and Japanese, they fight with the same heart and spirit, blood, sweat, and tears, ladies and gentlemen. That's all you're going to get from them. And when that bell rung, these two guys showed that. Again, Masanori Rikiishi absorbing some tremendous bombs, fighting back, Nunez just, especially the second half of the fight and later rounds, Nunez just pressing forward and letting his hands go. He outworked, he out hustled, he landed the more telling shots, and he did not get what he normally gets when he wins, which is a KO, but he showed that he can go 12 rounds in a championship fight, not just a fight, in a championship fight, and get the job done convincingly. There was no robbery here. Nunez outworked, he out hustled, he got the better of the exchanges. He landed the more telling shots on Rikishi, even though Masanori Rikiishi put up a hell of a fight and a valiant effort. So yeah, Nunez, man, is the new IBF super featherweight world champion, adding another champion to the long, illustrious history of Mexican boxing. Um, 27 years old, from Los Mochis, Sinaloa, Mexico. Now he has a record of 28 wins, 1 loss, 27 knockouts. A scary record, guys. One of the most scariest fighters in boxing. And I'm a fan of Mexican fighters. It all depends on who. I've always been a fan of Eric Morales. Pure action fighter, as we all know. Always been in exciting fights. So he's my favorite Mexican fighter, Eric Morales. I always enjoyed his fights. But Eduardo Nunez is giving me that same excitement because he brings that tenacity, he brings that vicious punching power. If he lands clean, you're likely going to sleep, and he's exciting. He's exciting. So for him now to be champion, he's lived up to his expectations. Meaning he's not just a knockout artist. He's a knockout artist that can go decision and can fight 12 rounds if needed and get the job done. So Eduardo Nunez, man, he's a treat to watch. He's when you buy your ticket, you're expecting you're guaranteed action. So yeah, that's my take, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to Los Monchis, Sinaloa, Mexico's own Eduardo Nunez, who's the new IBF Super Featherweight World Champion, defeating Japan's own Masanori Rikiishi in what was a true, um, in what was a tremendous fight in Japan earlier this morning. So yeah, just want to come out here and talk to you guys about that. Before I leave and wrap things up here with this video, Eduardo Nunez, ladies and gentlemen, he's in an interesting weight class because you got Emmanuel Navarrete. Imagine a fight between Emmanuel Navarrete and Eduardo Nunez, two Mexican hard punchers, likes to come forward, bang it out. Stylistically, Emmanuel Navarrete and Eduardo Nunez is a crazy fight to even think about. That's nuts. Then you got Lemon Roach, who's the WBA champion, who's right now all tied up with Gervonta Tank Davis in a rematch. Then you got O'Shaquie Foster going in there as well, who's the WBC champion. So Eduardo Nunez, he's got some competition, man. He's a champion now, and now if his goal is to unify, he's gonna have to go through Emmanuel Navarrete, O'Shaquie Foster, Lemon Roach Jr. Here's the WBA interim champion Albert Batigatsiev. Very hard name to pronounce, Russian fighter. So yeah, man. Of course, I'm a fan of Nunez. I'm looking forward to what's next. Who is he gonna fight next? You know, well-deserved title shot, well-deserved title win earlier today. And Masanori Rikiishi will definitely be back. He's an excellent fighter as well. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Wilson Cruz. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. It is always a pleasure to talk to you guys about boxing. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.